Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It is that time of year and I'm feeling pretty good because I am doing this much earlier than usual. Usually I leave this until like the time between Christmas and New Year when honestly after Christmas Day I feel like I have a major crash. I put out so much content throughout December, especially with Vlogmas, that after Christmas Day I feel like my brain is like, I'm done now, we're on holiday, we're taking a break. And so that is the last time that I want to be making a really big video. So I decided that we would do it in the middle of December. What is it now? The 12th. This has got to be the earliest I've ever posted this. This is my beauty roundup of the year, my favourites of the year. My one rule for this, because this was tricky. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that we could talk about. I was doing weekly favourites at one point. I don't want to include every single favourite I've talked about all year. That would be mad. And if you want to go back and rewatch some favourites videos, you can. What I tried to do was pick out the things that I felt like I had genuinely been using for, if not the entire year, the majority. Because, you know, you switch things out. I couldn't say that I've used one foundation every single day, but the one that I have used more than every other one. My second rule was I have to have purchased it myself with my own money. So I am sent things here and there. I have been sent things over the years that I still have, that I still use. But every single item, bar one, which I feel like is fair because it is a beauty device. And if it broke, I would buy it again in a heartbeat. But there's no need for me to have repurchased it. So apart from that, and also the very final products I'm going to talk about, I haven't had to repurchase it for myself, but I have purchased it as a gift. So I feel like those things, they're kind of slight wild cards. But every other item in this, even if it has at some point been gifted to me, I have also repurchased it myself. So I don't even know where to begin, but maybe let's go. Should we start with makeup? I feel like I usually start with skincare. Let's start with makeup, shall we? Let's start with the foundation. And if you've been following along throughout the year, you may not be surprised. I mean, this is pretty well used. This is the Nars Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturiser. The shade I have is Terre Neuve. I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly. Couple of things that I loved about this. I'm going to try and speed through them because there's so much stuff to talk about. A couple of things I loved about this specifically. I have obviously quite fair skin and I am quite prone to pigmentation and hyperpigmentation where it like, which side? Because I'm mirrored. This side. I actually had this spot of pigmentation removed and it's coming back. I get it around my eyes a lot. It originally stemmed from pregnancy, so it was melasma. I've been to a few different people about it and they've all said they wouldn't want to put laser on it because it can be exacerbated by heat. So I do have a few things that I use in my routine to try to fade this. But the best thing you can do is SPF. SPF as well, I didn't have one specific one I used all year. I kind of dotted between them. But this has SPF 30 in it. So although you'll get a lot of stick from different people, when you talk about using SPF in your foundation, I am of the mind that the SPF that you are going to use is the best SPF that you have. So even if that means the only SPF that you are using that day comes from your foundation, it's better than nothing. And I'm not the best at every single day, even with the skin issues that I have and how important I know it to be. Some days I'm lazy and this made me feel a little bit better. So that was one of the things. It also gave a really nice, and I'm not taking criticism about this. I'll warn you in advance. I know, but I'm just saying, let's be realistic. It's nice to have. I like that it gave me kind of an overall, it was fairly decent coverage. I'd say medium coverage. I'm already talking too much about this product. But you could see my skin through it. That was the main thing. It was a really nice kind of satin finish. It lasted really well. Yeah, I used it tons, more than I usually use a foundation. And I was really worried because it was an expensive one, but I would repurchase that 100%. While we're on Nars, should we talk about this Nars blush that I recently repurchased? I don't remember ever having to repurchase any other powder blush ever in my life, but this, I actually have the one that I used up. Yikes. I have the one that I used up in here so I can show you that I hit pan in a major way. I've never used up an entire blush. Never. I mean, this is not the entire blush, but close enough. That is Nars Sex Appeal, which I've been talking about for more than 10 years with you guys. This is the new one. It is a new packaging. Bear with me because I'm mirrored. It's an unusual filming situation. It's new packaging, which I quite like. The concern was I had seen that it's been reformulated, and I thought, ooh, is it going to... Do you know what? Let's do it now. Let's do a compare. I'm supposed to be being snappy, and I'm not. In the pan, the old one definitely looks more pink. But I can't see that that's true because the whole thing of this... I mean, you can't even see it on my hand. It's there. You can't see it on my hand. The swatching is going to be absolutely pointless. But you can see it when I apply it with a brush. You can see it in a video. Let's see if this one swatches anymore. Maybe? Can you see anything on my hand? Honestly, you would think it was invisible. I have had one person say, after I recommended it, that they just couldn't see it on their skin. And I do think that this is partially, you have to be fair. But the reason that I bought it in the first place, and don't come at me because I know she's cancelled, which I think is nonsense. I saw years and years and years ago, Blake Lively's makeup artist say that she used it on her, and she always looks like she's like lit from within. She's got kind of a glow, but not like a heavy. Her skin just always looks perfect. And that's what drew me to it. And that has been, I think, actually, my most used blush of all time. And although you can't see the swatch, you build it up, and it totally gives you that glowing from within look. It's magical. And I can tell you now, I have got the new one, the more, like the reformulated one, and it still is fantastic. Okay. This I've had, again, sent multiple times, but I have also purchased it myself. I've also gifted it to people. This is the Petra Flawless Beauty Primer. This I can swatch for you. You can't swatch everything. Well, there's not that much makeup, so maybe I can. This, again, I'm always on the hunt for... I swatched too much there. So this is what the product looks like. The only issue I would say with this is there is colour to it. That is like foundation-y colour, and I think there's only one shade of this. So I would imagine this is going to look ashy if you've got particularly dark skin. I mean, even if you've got... I mean, it kind of matches my skin tone. So I think it's not particularly inclusive. But when you blend it out, I don't think it gives a lot of coverage, but I do think it gives some. So it's not going to be for everyone. But that's the effect. It just looks... It looks like healthy, moisturised skin. I love it. I love it so much. But I do have to have that caveat that I don't think it's a particularly inclusive brand, to be honest. But that particular product, if you are fair, I'll never be without that. Some of these could just be like lifetime favourites. Another thing that falls into that same category is, and I broke it, which is upsetting, the Hourglass Diffused Light Ambient Lighting Powder. Do you know what's really annoying about this? I took this on a night out, and I know what you're thinking. Why would you do it? It's so expensive. It's delicate powder. I broke it on my kitchen floor. I dropped my bag, broke up my kitchen floor. Again, doesn't look like much, and I'm swatching it on the same hand, so it's going to tell. That's an unfair thing, but it gives you. I haven't got any powder on today, so let me put it on. It gives you, not matte, but it like knocks out all the shine, without making you look in any way matte. Like, if you are someone who struggles with, like, a powder looking super powdery, but you want to knock out that, if you're oily, you want to knock out all that shine, I can knock out all the shine of my base products and my moisturiser. But it doesn't look flat. So, where we've got the light, it still has, like here, the mirror is freaking with me. You still got that, like, do you know what I mean? It still has like a sheen to it. Your skin still looks kind of luminous, you know? That is what is so magical about these. They are expensive, but they last for 1,000,000 years. They last so long. And the little chunk that fell out, I actually put it in a little mini palette, and now I take that out with me on a night out. So nothing was lost. Nothing was lost. I don't think I have anything else to segue to, so we'll just go to another blush. This is the Super Cheek Super Cheek blush from Beauty Pie in Fresh Faced. Again, not going to be a surprise if you watched any of my beauty videos this year, especially the beginning to... Really, I feel like this was my go-to blush until I got, which I'm not including because this was really the tail end of the year, I am including it now, the Merit Flush Balm in Beverly Hills. If you see them next to each other, I feel like this is my autumn winter and this is my spring summer, because they've got a real similar, they're very, very different in texture, but a very similar effect in that you can totally still see through them. They're very translucent in spite of using quite a lot. Like I really, that's quite a lot of product on each side. You can still see my skin through them, and that is what I'm looking for. They are really easy to blend and super flattering on the skin for me. I loved that peachy one. I mean, if I hadn't got the Beverly Hills one, probably the Merit one, probably would still have been using that one from Beauty Pie. I've tried a lot of things from Beauty Pie, generally been underwhelmed in terms of the makeup, but that I would pay full price for, which is ridiculous because you know that Beauty Pie is a bit of a swizz. They actually sent me some skincare the other day, which I'm going to do like a... Oh! I got a I got a thumbs up! I'm filming this on my iMac. That's hilarious. I'm filming this on my iMac. That would be so good for like... And this is the best product ever. Come on. No. Yay! That's so funny. Yeah, so I'm filming this on my iMac, which is why it's flipped. And I didn't know it was going to do that. But that works for this style of video. Right, I have no idea what I was talking about, but let's move on. Eyes. We have... Oh, before we do eyes, I actually had someone ask me about this today. Someone messaged me on Instagram and said, what is that brush that you love from Sephora called? It's the 47. I knew that off the top of my head. It's called the Pro Foundation 47 brush. What is great about this is the shape. So if you look, it's like, I mean, this needs to be washed, so please bear that in mind. And again, we're not accepting judgment at this time. But it is kind of like a tapered, so it's like a flat brush, but it also has that kind of, you can stipple with it because there's quite a lot of surface area there. And then it's got the flat side there. I don't know if you could use it that way. I mean, maybe to do like a cut if you wanted like a line of something. But for the most part, you can stipple with it because of the surface area, but it also moves like, it moves like a flat foundation brush. It's so great. And I never thought I would buy anything like a flat foundation brush, but I loved it so much I bought it twice. I've got 2 of them. So that's one thing I definitely needed to mention because I've had that for more than a year now. This is no longer available. Apparently it's still available in the States, but not in the UK. It's discontinued because it's been out of stock for more than 6 months everywhere. This is the Too Faced Natural Eyes. I'm showing you this because if it doesn't come back like the Naked palette did from Urban Decay, if it doesn't come back in a big like, look, we've brought this back, I will be shocked to my very core because it's such a fantastic palette. Fantastic palette. First of all, it smells like chocolate, as so many things from Too Faced do. So every time I open it, I'm like, smells like those cupcake dolls that I had when I was a kid. But also, if I had to get rid of every single palette in my collection and have only one, it would be this one. I can do everything with this. All of these shades, no, they're not. I was going to say all of these shades are. No, there's no all of these shades. I was going to say they're matte and then these are shimmery. These ones are matte. This is matte. That top one is matte. So, like, I can do a really nice... I suppose that these are like... These are colour families. These are colour families. These are colour families. But I can do a very basic... Like, these two are probably my most used. That all over my lid. That in the crease. If I want to deepen it up, I can go there. If I want to do a powder liner or even deeper in my crease, I can go there. And then we've got kind of like shimmery shades. There's so much you can do with this. So much mixing and matching. I also think Too Faced makes some of the best eyeshadows, like creamy, blendable, whether it's matte, because mattes used to be so difficult. I know they're not quite so anymore, but I still really appreciate a nice, blendable matte eyeshadow that's not chalky and that really, you can see it when you swatch it, you know? It's not like patchy and rubbish. It's just so fantastic. I mean, this is going to last me probably 10 years, but just keep your eye out. Or if Too Faced relaunch something that's similar to this, because it's so fantastic, so good, that I still wanted to mention it in spite of the fact that you can't get it right now. And then finally I have my mascara, which is the Lancome Lash Idole. This was sent to me twice. I was just about to repurchase it and then they sent it to me again completely randomly. I don't get any kind of correspondence from Lancome. I just randomly get things sent to me from certain brands. And then I ran out of it the last time and I purchased it myself. So I'm allowed to put it in the list. I also have one last makeup item that I forgot was in here. And I'm going to put it on for you now. It's the Kylie lip liner in Candy K. This was... Oh, that was a good sound. Should we do that again? Because I've got the microphone. Oh! Love it. This was definitely my most worn lip of any kind. It's tricky with lips because obviously you change things all the time. At the moment, I've got on the Bobbi Brown extra lip tint in Blackberry. That's what I'm wearing right now. But, I mean, look. That's not even overlined. But can you see the difference? That's not overlined at all. Can you see the difference a lip liner makes? It's like filler without doing anything. I do like an overline, but this is not what that is. This is just, that's slightly overlined. This is just defining your lips. And it makes such a difference. This is such a nice colour. It's like a peachy nude. Sorry if there's like mouth noises. I know people hate mouth noises, but this by far was my most used, because whether I was using it on its own or I was using it to then put a lipstick or a lip gloss or something on top, this was my go-to, like a warm nude. I know everyone was into doing their colours this year, but I did my colours a few years ago, not to do a little self-promotion, but I wrote a book. I think it was 2019. It could have been 2018, but I think it was 2019. I wrote a book. It was called Lifestyling. In fact, you know what? I might have it. Hang on. I mean, I should have it, shouldn't I? Let me just see, because I used to have it. I do. I have a stack of them. Lifestyling, which is kind of funny because it's supposedly a styling. Oh, do you know? I'm going to show you inside. It's supposedly a styling book. It's not really a styling book at all. It's about styling the phase of life that you're in, which changes all the time, and especially if you've had kids or if you've kind of gone through a major life event or you've changed your job, whatever. You're in a different phase of life. You want something different. At this point, I kind of really read about colour analysis. So this was... Don't tell me what year it was. I think it was the very beginning of 2019. In theory, it should have this somewhere. Oh, here we go. Yeah, 2019. Right, anyway. So on page 22, if you happen to have it, I have a whole thing about colour analysis. And like a real basic, here's how you can figure out if you're cool or warm. And then from there, warm, bright, deep, soft, all that stuff. I am a soft autumn, and when I discovered that, there were so many things that I changed. Like, for example, this colour is really great for me. It's not a million miles away from the lip. It's like a warm, peachy colour, like a rust of sorts. Has a little bit of paint on it. We're looking past it. I pulled this out recently when I was going through all of my old makeup stuff. No. Clothing stuff. I did makeup first and then I did clothes. Did a big declutter. Sent loads of stuff to Vinted. And yeah, I rediscovered this and thought, I don't care, it's got a little bit of paint on it. I love this jumper. So I was going through all of those things, picking the things out and thinking, yeah, I have a lot of stuff from before I knew my colours. We can wear whatever we want, but if I wore like a royal blue top, you would see that colours are a thing. Colour analysis is something that you don't have to pay money for. You can find it all out online and it's worth doing. And I went from wearing things like faux from MAC, which I used to wear all the time when I had super white blonde hair. And that is like almost purple blue. It's like a very, very cool toned. At the time I thought it was neutral. So cool toned nude. If I wore that now, I'd look dead because of all the other things going on. Whereas if I pull towards like the peachy and the warmer nudes, so much more flattering for me. That was a real long tangent to talk about this one lip liner. And why I've used it so much, because it is, I think, my ideal shade of nude. Right, moving on. I'll put that away because that is not included in this. Let's talk about hair. Very small number of items that I want to talk about, but two things that I have used more than anything else. Batiste dry shampoo in blush. Previously it would have been tropical. Used to love it. Blush, I feel, let me just, yeah. I mean, I used it this morning. I think this is the least offensive, as in like the least strong, the least, oh my God, I can smell this on you scent. This is the one that will go with whatever perfume you're wearing. It's not kind of bringing a lot of its own scent. It could be maybe even mistaken for your laundry detergent kind of smell, your fabric softener, which I'm not into fabric softener. I think that's a bit of a swizz as well. But I have in the past worn tropical dry shampoo, which I loved for a long time, and people have been like, God, I can smell coconut. Where can I smell coconut? I don't want my dry shampoo to be a perfume. I just want it to kind of fade into, I don't want my shampoo to be a perfume. I just want it to help my hair last a couple more days. And so that's why specifically blush I've used the most this year. And Aussie Mega Shampoo, which everyone in my house loves. It just makes my hair feel super, super clean. And it's what I've used the most of. Until last week, I just purchased the Herbal Essences Hello Hydration, you know, the blue one. I used to use that so much, just to go back to the coconut. When I was using my dry shampoo that was the tropical one, I used to use the Hello Hydration from Herbal Essences constantly. I was obsessed. And I saw it in the supermarket. It was half the price of the Aussie, and I thought, I'll give it a go. I'm not liking it as much so far. It definitely doesn't give me that like really clean feeling. Much as I like the scent, I'm definitely going back to the Aussie. The only other hair thing, rollers. I can't be without them. From the beginning of the year, do you know what? I actually curled my hair today, and my hair did not want to keep that curl at all. But I started, this is the mirror thing again. I started the year with super long hair, and does this give like a Maleficent vibe? I think it does. I started the year with super long hair, and I loved rollers. Loved them. It was like a faux blowout. I love anything where I can put it in, leave it, and then take it out. Like, it feels like less effort, even though I'm sure it's not. And then when I had short hair, again, faux blowout gives me loads of volume. Most recently, I put them all in my hair. My hair was dry and cold. It was winter, so there was no heat involved at all. I put them in my hair for like a 3-4 hour car journey. I put them in my hair while I was in the car, was not driving. And when I got to my destination, I took them out, and I swear to God, it looked like I just left the hairdressers. And there was zero heat involved. It was just slept on, limp hair, and rollers. They are a magical thing that everyone should have in their arsenal. And they don't have to be expensive. You can get them from Primark. Okay, skincare. This is the item that I did not technically purchase, but I want to mention. And I have bought so many things from Current Body, but they have also sent me things. So it just like, I feel like, wait, put that one down. I feel like it's okay, but if you want to be cross about it, you can. This is the Foreo. I think it's called the Luna Plus 4. I will link the correct thing. It's a facial brush, which I have not used a facial cleansing brush since like the Clarisonic, so many years ago. I thought it was a bit of nonsense, honestly. Like, I liked a hot cloth cleanser. I thought a flannel was good. Since using this, I can 100% see a difference in my skin. My husband uses it, which is great because he remembers to charge it. It's in the bathroom. I use it every single night. And if I do not use it, if I'm away from home or if I have forgotten to charge it and my husband hasn't charged it, then I know a distance. I know a difference. 2 or 3 days without this, I know a difference. I took it with me to Hong Kong and I was there for like 3 days. I need it every single day. And I don't know whether or not it is that, I mean, I'll get breakouts. My skin looks dull. I don't know whether it is the brush itself, because as you're using it, it vibrates. There's also a light, but we'll get to that. As you're using it, it vibrates, and it's like supposed to be getting all of the impurities out of your skin. I'm all here for that, but I don't know if it's that or if it is the red light therapy. So again, as you're putting it against your skin, you're also getting that red light therapy. The reason that this is on my best of 2024 and no other devices, because I love my red light mask and I love my new face, which is the microcurrent device, is this is all 3 in 1. So this is first of all the facial brush. This is second of all the red light therapy, and it's like stacking things. So I'm doing that without even, it's no extra time. I'm already cleansing my face every single day. And so I'm already using my red light, even if I don't remember to use my red light mask. I know I'm getting it in with this. And then on the back of it, I've never used this, so I can't speak to its efficacy. But it also has these little metal balls. That is the microcurrent device. So that is when you put the gel on and you like do the moves to try and firm your skin. So if you were thinking of getting any kind of facial skincare device, I would highly recommend this one because it does so many things. I think it's bang for your buck. It's also maybe, it's at least a year old for me at this point. It could be 2 years old. I can't remember when I got it, but it's quite a long time I've had this. So this variation, I'm sure they've had a new one in the meantime. So you can probably get this one at a massive discount. I would guess, especially at Christmas time. I'll see if I can find anything specific where, oh, this is a really good price, and I'll link that for you below. But this is the thing that I would recommend more than anything else, more than the masks, more than the Neuve face, more than, because this is the thing that I consistently use without having to remember, because it's just part of my cleansing routine. And same with SPF, same as with SPF, the thing that is going to be the most effective is the thing that you're going to use. You can have all of the devices, you can have all of the expensive things, but if you don't use them, they are pointless. Right, moving on to skincare. Now, skincare, initially, I had 3 things in front of me because I wanted to show you things that I'd used all year, and I was like, I feel like I've switched up my skincare so much. But once I went through, because this was just stuff that was hanging around on my desk, once I went downstairs, I have a big bag of skincare that I do it all watching TV at night. So I get in the bath, I do my whatever, come downstairs, and I get my, it's like a clutch, but it's enormous, of skincare. And I do my things while I'm watching TV because, I mean, if I do it straight out of the bath, then it's more standing in front of the mirror. If I wait until I go to bed, I'm too tired. Often I'm just like, I've fallen asleep on the sofa. Then I go to bed and I'm like, not going to happen. I get out of the bath, I brush my teeth because otherwise I'm going to be like zombie from bed, zombie from the sofa to bed. And then I come downstairs and do my skincare. And it also means that I can leave time between steps. So I have a little play with the things that I'm using. I do like my serum. I can leave it 10 minutes to completely absorb. I can do my whatever at my eye creams. I can do yada yada. Oh, it's also worth mentioning the majority of this year I was using the Khiels avocado eye cream. I can't remember what it's called, something creamy eye cream. I used that up last month, so I don't have it to show you, but that definitely is on my list. I am considering purchasing that again, but at the moment I'm using E45, which is very different price bracket for around my eyes because they've been so dry. And honestly, I don't know if I can see a difference between the two products, so I'm not throwing that in there, but I was using that all year. But when I went and got this bath, I was like, oh, there's quite a few things that I can mention here. So, number 1, the Laneige lip sleeping mask. I've had this for years now, and I'm just coming to the bottom of it. Like, so many years. So although these are really expensive, they last ages. So there's this. I use that almost every day. At this point, I'm using it multiple times a day because it's so dry. This was a bit of an oddball. I had this at the beginning of the year, and I just recently was sent it. I purchased it at the beginning of the year and used it up, and then I was using other things that I had. And then I was recently sent it and remembered how amazing it is. So I want to mention it, but again, it's a bit of a wild card. It is the Ultra Facial Cream from Khiels. The thing that makes me a bit hesitant is I've not been fantastic about moisturising recently. And so when I started using this again, I was like, oh my God, this feels fantastic. Remembering how great it was, but also how much of that is that my skin really needed it. It's a little bit like in the past I've talked about certain products with like really active ingredients, and then I've gone back to them years later and not been as impressed because those active ingredients are much more readily available now and they're not as impressive. It's not like as wow as it used to be because, oh, I've had this in different products. It's not like the first time my skin has ever had glycolic acid or niacinamide or whatever it is. And so my skin's kind of now used to it and it's not giving me the same pow, whereas this really did give me that pow. But is that because my skin is kind of been lacking hydration and it's winter? I don't know. But I do feel like you don't need loads and loads of it and it will last you a while. I do feel like this is better than your average moisturiser. So I'm throwing it in there and I'm really enjoying it at the moment. I don't have another moisturiser to show you because I don't have another one that I've been using consistently. The Vichy Mineral 89, this to me is like a really fancy niacinamide serum. It is the one that I have been using the most this year. In truth, I don't know now whether I would go out of my way to purchase it again. I did purchase it. It was sent to me and I did purchase it because I was really liking it. But recently I've been a bit, I don't know if it's all that special. So again, I used it all year. But I want to just be honest and say, I'm not sure. Because they are, you know, on the pricier side. I also do have my Skin and Me, which has in it niacinamide. I'll tell you what it's got in it. Oh, it just says niacinamide powered night cream. But I know this has tretinoin as well. And it doesn't have my full thing. Do you know what? I'm actually wondering if it doesn't have tretinoin at the moment because I haven't done my check-in. If this whole time I thought I was using my tretinoin and I wasn't because I didn't do my check-in. I hate that. That's the one thing about Skin and Me. I get why, because you do, initially, if you've never heard of this, you send a picture of your face, you do all of this like questionnaire, and then it gives you what it thinks you need for your skin issues. So for me, it was the melasma. I wanted to like fade all of that pigmentation situation. And steadily it builds it up until you're at like a relatively high level of whatever it is. And for me, tretinoin was the reason that this was worth spending the money on, because that's not something that you can just buy. It's like an over-the-counter, has to be prescribed to you ingredient. So that's the initial kind of phase of that. And like every 3 or 6 months, you have to check in with them and show you what your skin is looking like. And now I'm realizing I haven't done that in a long time. And there's a good chance for the last 6 months, I've just been using niacinamide. And I'm already using niacinamide in the morning. So this has just been a really expensive niacinamide serum. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to take off my makeup and do the check-in with Skin and Me, because that's really annoying. But I do really think that Skin and Me is fantastic. I still rate the service because it has made tretinoin, apparently not right now, but usually accessible to me. And that has made a difference to my melasma. I've got videos on that. Okay. Pixi Dream Eye Replenishing PM Patches. I've got this one and I've got a regular just green one and another one. One of them I purchased in the middle there because I couldn't find the other ones, and I really liked this. And a couple of you have asked me which one I use. I think they're all the same. I think they're all exactly the same. They're like a silicone eye patch. You take it out and put it on. I'm not going to do it now because I've got makeup on. And that's probably terrible that I've put it back in there. But I have. They're just little mini hydrogel masks for underneath your eyes. I find that in the morning, I like to leave them in my little mini fridge in my office. In the morning, whack them on, and they kind of rehydrate. I've definitely noticed the fine lines around my eyes are lessened when I take them off. I'm sure it's a very temporary effect, but anything that makes you feel a little bit fresher just before you put on your makeup or just before you do your skincare for the day, I don't even care if it's psychosomatic. I will not be without those. I used to get something similar from a brand called Mask Bar. They did one. It was like a white tub with an orange lid, I want to say. And I think that they did something for my melasma. I think they really faded the darkness and the marks. I don't think that Pixi is doing that, but I do think that whatever is in the liquid that's in there is helping. And honestly, I think, you know, like if you had this and it was kind of like it dried up a little bit, I think you could just whack in some serum, because it's just the same as any sheet mask. It's keeping it locked in so it doesn't just evaporate from your skin. So even if you put on like your eye cream or whatever and then put the silicone thing on, I think it would have a similar effect. I was looking for silicone sheet masks. If anyone can recommend one, I want a silicone reusable sheet mask that is not tiny, that when I put it on, my face is not small. I've got a wide face. If I put it around my ears, it's not like pulling at my ears. If anyone can recommend a normal face-sized slash large face-sized silicone reusable mask. I'm all ears, because when I put my serum on, I would love to put one on and just let it be locked in as much as possible and then do my moisturiser. I'm all ears, please. I have these two, which technically is like first half of the year, second half of the year. The Khiels Hydrating Water Essence. This is a very, very similar product to the 8 Hour Miracle Hydrating Mist from Elizabeth Arden. Similar price point. I think the Khiels is slightly cheaper, and I think you get more. Let's see. Yeah, 100ml, 150ml. The difference is this comes in a pump bottle, which to me is insane, and this is a spray. If this had a spray, I would have used it loads more. I think you're probably supposed to put this into... No, you are supposed to put it in the palm of your hand. I hate this. So it says, after cleansing and drying your face, dispense 3 to 4 pumps into the palm of your hand, smooth over face and neck before applying a moisturiser. So here's what we're supposed to do. This is like water. It's like water. And then you like do this, and then you do this. I don't like that. It feels really wasteful. I much prefer a mist. So I was using it that way. And I like the effect. I like anything that's like a toning essence. It feels like it's locking in. I like it. But I prefer a spray. So with this... The smell is very light. It's not like the 8 Hour Cream scent. So if that's putting you off, don't let it. Because it's a very, very light scent. But there is a fragrance if you're sensitive to that. This is just... It feels so refreshing. The mist is really nice. We know that's important. The mister on it is like premium mister. Once I finish this, I'm just going to refill it with this. That's my plan. So at the moment, I'm using this one. And I'm going to put this in here. I really like both of them. The Elizabeth Arden I do think is more hydrating. I also really like that it's got a mist on it. But they are similar products. So if you have one, you don't need the other. I just wanted to mention it because I have used one or the other of these all year. We're very near the end now, you know, which is a good thing because I'm like, I basically just put a gloss on my face. This is the Soothe Me Post-Shave Serum from Primark. And it's not for your legs, it's for your face. Well, actually, I tell you what, I think it's for your bikini line because it came out with a range of products in the summertime. I don't know if it was this year or last year. Doesn't time just go too quickly? I think it could have been last year. Because at the same time, they sent a balm, you know, like for the tops of your legs to avoid chafing, like an anti-chafing balm thing. And I'm trying to remember, but I feel like I took that to Florida and that was last summer, like 2023. So I think I've had this for quite a while, which speaks to how well it's lasted. But even if it was the summer, bear in mind I use this minimum 3 times a week, sometimes every day. Whether I am plucking hair from my face or shaving hair from my face, both of which happens every week, I use this afterwards. And it helps me from avoiding breakouts. Sometimes I still break out because when the hair comes back through, again, whether shaving or plucking, it irritates the skin and you're going to get a breakout. But I do not get post-shave breakouts anymore. I used to use a product, I think it was called Hair No More. Can't remember the brand, Skin something, and it was kind of like an antiseptic, so you spray it on. And the whole thing of that was it was supposed to be like a hair minimizing spray, which I think is nonsense, absolute rubbish. But the antiseptic quality did help. So if you're plucking any hair from your face, make sure your face or shaving, face is super clean, like nothing on it at all. No moisturizer, no nothing, totally clean. At most, a cleansing oil for shaving. Do all the hair removal. And while your face is clean, still clean, use either an antiseptic. You could use like Germaline or something antiseptic, or a post-shave oil or balm, because it's going to do the same thing. It's kind of like supposed to help with any kind of irritation. Don't put any skincare on. Leave it a while before you do skincare. I tend not to put anything down here. I do it all this part because I am dealing with some kind of facial hair removal every single day of my life. So I try to avoid this area at night. In the morning, when I do other skincare, I can put it everywhere because I'm never doing hair removal in the morning. But yeah, just a little tip from me to you. And this from Primark is great. And I have seen it in the shops not so long ago. So it's not just a summer product. The Body Shop Hemp Nourishing Protecting Dry Body Oil. This I bought this time last year. I thought it was going to be discontinued. I saw it in the shops. They were £5 each, which was an absolute bargain. So I bought like 6 of them, and I'm still working on them. This is empty. Best thing ever. From when you first get out of the shower or the bath, if you just, again, it's post-shave, just shaved your legs. You have to put something on straight away. Before your skin is completely dried, when it's still plump, and post-bath or shower, when it's still kind of like got that hot, it's dry to touch, but like, you know what I mean. It's not completely, skin is still kind of retaining some moisture. That's the time to put on whatever it is. And this is a really quick and easy thing. I put this on straight from the bath, sometimes when my legs are still wet, and it just helps. It helps to kind of smooth my skin somewhat. If I just let my legs just dry completely after shaving them, they would feel kind of like tight and irritated. If I put this on straight away, everything feels, again, it just like retains that plumpness. I'm not a scientist. I don't know how it works. I'm just telling you that's what happens. And for my entire adult life, I know if I don't moisturize before that plumpness disappears, I can tell the difference, like for days until I shave them again. I used to shave my legs every day. Can you imagine? I don't know where I found the time. Because it's not just the shaving, it's then the moisture. Oh, it's like hours of your life wasted. Finally, the Sol de Janeiro, I'm going to give this a go. Beija Flor Elasti-Cream. This is the one that is the same scent as, I don't remember what the pink body thing is called, the body mist, but it's the same as the Baccarat Rouge. I'm sure people who have Baccarat Rouge are like, it's nothing like it, but you know what I'm talking about. It's the one that's kind of a dupe for that scent. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And nothing about this would have appealed to me. I don't know what it is. It's like addictive, that smell, and everyone smells of it, and it doesn't even put me off. It's very powdery. It's very sweet, but indescribable. I have no idea what the notes are. Does it tell me anywhere? It doesn't. It doesn't. And when I tried to Google what the notes were, I told, Cheirosa. Cheirosa. Cheirosa 68 fragrance. Now I can't see. And when I was doing a video similar to this before, I tried to find it and I Googled it and I gave you the notes and they were not the right notes at all for what this was. So I'm not going to do that because I'll be wrong. But something about that smell is amazing. Even Lee has commented on it, that it's a really strong smell. If I'm wearing that, I come into the living room post-bath. And he's like, oh, I really used that thing again. It's really nice. The bed sheet smell of it for days. It really lingers. It really, really lingers. So that is why I purchased that. Every now and then, because it's expensive and I don't use it every day. It's like a once a week special bath when I want to feel like, really, really nice. But also the moisturiser itself, the reason I bought it originally is it's supposed to be for your bust. So what does it say? Elasti-Cream. It's supposed to be for your bust. That's how I read it anyway originally. And it says enriched with retinol mimicking cacao oil, so not retinol, and plant collagen. So it's supposed to be like smoothing and firming for here. I bought it before we went to Vegas for our vow renewal because I was like on a bit of a make my skin amazing kick. You know, like a kind of like a pre-wedding thing. And because we were doing the vow renewal, I wanted it to be kind of like feel like another wedding. And I originally, way back when, after I had Milo, I used to really like I want to say it was called like boob cream from, what is it called? It's gone. You know, the place that does all the bath bombs. Lush. I used to get something from there that was called, I don't know. It was something like boob cream. It wasn't subtle. And it's gone. Anyway, they stopped making it. And I asked, is this I actually went in because I loved it so much. It really, really made a difference. I saw a difference in the texture of my skin. And so when I saw that this was supposed to be something similar, it doesn't do the same thing. It wasn't even close to what the Lush, whatever that was called, did. But the smell is that's what hooked me. So I tend to save this, like I say, for once in a while. And I use it on my legs because that's where I moisturise most. But really I should be using it on my arms because that's where I would smell it the most. Like, my pyjamas still smell of it the next day. The bedding smells of it for multiple days. I can smell it on me the next day because I'm a bath in the shower, not a shower in the morning person. I can smell the thing that I've put on me all the next day. And so if you don't like the smell, don't buy that. But if you do like the smell, it's worth it for that alone. And I think that's it. Oh no, the one last wild card was the perfume. This is the Black Opium, this side, Black Opium from YSL. I was sent this, it could have been last Christmas, in a big box of things from YSL. Thank you, YSL. When I get stuff like that, I'm like, I think they've mixed me up with someone else. I once got a big box of things from Hourglass, and honestly, I hated most of it. A lot of it was like so underwhelming. I never even talked about it, especially the stuff that was, because everything's so expensive. Honestly, I wish I should have done a full review of everything. I just felt at the time like I would never have bought these things, and so I can't in good conscience review them. I would have told you if they were amazing, but they weren't. They really weren't. But I remember getting that box and being like, no, they have put me on the wrong list. And when I got a big box of YSL stuff, that's definitely how I felt, especially with like a big perfume in it. But I struggle with finding new perfumes, and I was just going to give that away to someone because I thought it's such a waste. I'm going to open this and I'm not going to like it. My daughter said, that's really, really nice. So I tried it, absolutely loved it, and I have gifted that to people. So I feel like that counts, even though I'm only halfway through because I don't wear perfume every day. But it's such a nice one. It is really, it's very heavy. It's definitely more of a nighttime or winter fragrance. Sweet. Don't make me do the notes. But it kind of reminds me of, it's not the same, but I used to wear deep red when I was a teenager. And I remember years later, I sprayed it on myself and thought, oh my God, that's the worst. It must be like what grown men feel like when they smell Davidoff when they're in like their 40s and go, oh, I can't believe I smelled a jupe. Can't believe I've smelled like that for like 5 years. Same with deep red. I loved it so much. And you know, everything changes. I feel like our hormones change the scent of things, and obviously tastes change, but I do remember hating that so much. When I spray that, that's how Hugo Deep Red smelled like in my mind, which is not helpful in terms of a review, but it's a feeling, you know? Right, that's it. That's everything. Oh my God, this is such a long video, and I felt like I tried to do it as minimal as possible, but it was going to be a long video. So hopefully this is what you wanted to see. Hopefully this was useful. I will list and link everything for you below. Some of those links will be affiliate links. Obviously, if you click through them, I will make a very small amount per purchase you make through those links. So if you want to support my channel that way, you can. If you do not want to do that, feel free to take that information and Google it elsewhere. But just full disclosure, none of the things that I've mentioned in this video I'm being paid to talk about, and none of these things were like input into the video so that I could make money on them. I just, you know, someone told me the other day, you've got to do the affiliate link thing because that's part of the monetization of the content that you're creating for free. And I'm like, I'm always so horrible at it. And I think a lot of that comes from, in the back of my mind, I feel bad about using affiliate links, and I shouldn't. And so I won't. And so in 2025, I'm going to do a lot more of that. But I do just want to be, you know, it does still, you know, I know you know. But if you do want to support my channel that way, the links are always there, or will be moving forward. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching this year. If you haven't already and you are like, what, nearly 50 minutes into this mad video, this is a long time to watch someone and not have subscribed, so please do that. I also have linked in the description all the other places you can find me online. I have 6 YouTube channels now. It's a long game. I'm playing a long game with YouTube. I've decided to split my personality across the internet in 6 different ways. And so if you want to see me talk about different things, or more specifically focus on different elements of my interests, then you can do that in these many, many YouTube channels. I think it's going to be good, but you know, 2025 is really the pilot year. So again, go and check that out. Subscribe to the ones that you're interested in. I hope you have a great Christmas. I will be back in the meantime, but I know this might be like this might be the final video you see of me before it is Christmas. So happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, happy holidays, well, however you celebrate, whatever it is that you celebrate. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.